We start off the next volume with a great adventure, action-filled chapter, and ultimately the Straw Hats are going to face an uphill battle to rescue Nico Robin. One Piece, Chapter 400, The Key to Freedom. Ha ha! Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and 400 chapters deep now tale of One Piece. Our last chapter, of course, saw us with really just the shit hitting the fan, everybody jumping towards the waterfall, the sea train catching them in midair on their way to crash into the Tower of Law. And that's how things left off. Things will pick up right here as and that's how the volume obviously finished off too. We have a great volume here, it looks like, 42. A lot of the CP9 guys on the cover. Very well done, very well illustrated, and always love seeing Oda's work colored. So we'll get right into it over here. The chapter and the volume winds up starting off right where we left off, in midair, just kind of action movie sequence type deal. Everybody like, ah, you know. The sea train winds up going and boom, crashing into the Tower of Law, right through the front door, it appears anyway. And at first everybody's like, whoa, Fukuro, are you dead? and I love how Luffy calls her Monster Lady all the time. Anyway, but that's besides the point. So, Fukuro and Chimney and whatnot, they all just have bloody noses from it. It's like, what the hell's going on, you know? And then we get this part two where somebody says something to the effect of, yeah, you know, you can't just survive a crash like that and then just get up and go fight, right? And then but of course all the Straw Hats are ready to go. And Franky's like, yeah, you guys are like something else though, man. Like, I just want to make that clear. Like, you guys are not human, you know? So, very cool stuff. We wind up seeing, though, Spandem obviously shitting his pants even more. Great shot at the end of last volume and last chapter where his eyeballs were literally popping out of his head. Looked like he was getting fingered up the butt or something like that. And, anyway, it looks like he was getting the full body glove search at the airport because they thought he had drugs on him and somebody had their whole hand up there. But so he's shitting bricks, and what he winds up doing is he's got Nico Robin, of course, is still in the Sea Prism handcuffs, so she can't really do shit right now utilizing her powers. Franky, of course, was able to kind of break away, and the CP9 agents are all standing tall over there and ready to fight, minus Bluno, of course, who Luffy already kicked his ass. So Spandem goes and says, Lucci, you're with me. CP9, you got full reign over taking everybody out, killing them, whatever. And Lucci, you're going to protect me while we take Nico Robin to the gates of justice. So they take off, right? And then we go, and right before he does, he goes and he has his elephant go, and he, like, basically says, yeah, go ahead and you know, transform, more or less. That's what I looked at as, like, and this thing has the power of the elephant fruit, I think. And it's actually pretty cool, though. The elephant that he has, that's his pet elephant, actually changes into a sword, a really cool-looking sword, by the way, too. I'd like to get one like this with tusks on it. I meant to have the page all set up over there so you can see. So here we go, and a Funkfreed is the elephant's name. I couldn't remember. Elephant fruit. And that's pretty cool, man. He's got a sword with tusks on it. Now, I doubt he knows how to use it because he's a little turd burglar, but, you know, it is what it is. So, anyway, as things wind up progressing, and we kind of get everybody, all the Straw Hats with Franky as well, and they're all like, okay, we got to go free Robin, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, Fukuro, the big kind of weird, blobby-looking dude that's got, like, the zipper mouth and stuff like that, just really odd guy, he's just kind of, like, hanging like Spider-Man on the wall up above them, above some stairs, and he's just like, ah, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, you know, or cha-pa-pa-pa, whatever he says, pa-cha-cha-cha. And what basically winds up happening is he goes and he tells them, listen, you can go after Robin, go right ahead, but she has these Sea Prism handcuffs on, which one of us hold the key to. He holds out a key, and then as they go and Luffy tries to, you know, grab it from her to hit him, and he says, I never even said this was the real key. Here's the deal. Each one of us 5 CP9 members has a key on us, right? So in order to actually save Nico Robin, you got to beat all 5 of us. There's 6 of them, obviously, you know, with Franky. Got to beat all 5 of us and get the keys so you'll know which one to try. So Nami goes and she's like, she's the voice of reason. She's like, you know what? Screw that. Forget these guys. Let's just go get Robin. We can always come back for the keys. And he's like, yeah, but you can't do that because then we'll just go and throw the keys in the sea, right? We'll just throw them right in and there'll be no key. And apparently you can't pick locks. Which is odd to me, all the different things you can do. But the Sea Prism handcuffs are apparently hard as diamond and cannot be cut through, so she'd basically have these things on her for the rest of her life, unless you could find a good locksmith or a good lockpick, but whatever. We'll take that plot hole and put it over to the side over there. So, nonetheless, though, what this does is it devises and sets up where everybody's gonna have to fight off against these different characters. So what they wind up doing is they say, listen, Lucci is with Robin right now, and he's the strongest, so you're gonna go after him. You go try to find Robin. We'll take care of everybody else here, right? So between Franky and, of course, Sniper King and Chopper and Nami and Sanji and Zoro, they have to go and take down and retrieve the keys from the 5 members of CP9, which would be what Jabra, Kumadori, Fukuro, Kaku, and Kalifa, if I remember correctly. Got all them names right over there. I'm actually proud of myself, because I never use any type of scripting or anything like that, or write anything down. So, it's good that I got it all up here. But anyway, as we go and the chapter progresses, everybody starts kind of breaking off to go and look for these other CP9 members, and we really see who's going to face off against who, and that's the important part. So we wind up seeing Franky as he's running and trying to find a pantry and a kitchen to refill on cola to kind of refill his magic juice, right? He winds up actually running into Fukuro, who after he told him that, it just kind of disappeared. He reappeared, so it's going to be Franky facing off against Fukuro. Sniper King's walking around room to room to room. He eventually winds up coming across Jabra, and Jabra looks like he's laying there sleeping, and he sees his key, and Sniper King's like, man, is this too good to be true, you know? So, and we see that situation. Nami's running around, and she's like, God, this place is like a dungeon or like a prison or something like that, and she winds up coming across the big-haired dude that kind of looks like Lionel from Thundercats, Kumadori. And he's just real loud, you know. He's just the one that's real, like, just loud and boisterous and just very annoying, I guess, at least as far as I can tell. And then we wind up seeing, we don't really see Chopper go off against anybody. Sanji walk into this room, and then he's like, oh, I guess there's nobody here. And then all of a sudden, it's Kalifa behind him. So, and, you know, funny that Sanji has to face off against a woman, especially because he has problems, you know, with women, because he's just such a lovesick puppy that's always really horny, it seems like. And on top of that, he's, you know, he doesn't hit women. So we saw the problem that he had even back in Alabasta when Bon Clay turned into a woman. He couldn't hit him, you know. So, and then the chapter winds up ending off with seeing that Zoro is going to face off against Kaku, and Kaku's just sitting there all pimp, you know, with his legs crossed by the fireplace. He's like, I see you've already drawn your sword. And Zoro's like, yeah, it's thirsty for blood. So anyway, that's how the chapter leaves off, and it was just a great chapter, chapter 400 over here. My chapter question for you, brothers and sisters, is it's 2 parts. The first part is which fights are you most looking forward to seeing now that we know what the pair-offs are? And number 2, what are your thoughts on, obviously, whatever point you came on and started watching my reviews and came on to the Nerd Nation, or the ones that have been with me for a long time, the ones that came on in the last 100 chapters, doesn't matter. But especially for the long-time subscribers, what are your thoughts on us finally making it together to chapter 400? I personally think every time we get to a solid number like that, 100, 200, 300, 400, I think it's a pretty big feat, a pretty good accomplishment, and did it in about 11 months over here, so certainly chugging right along. Let me know what your thoughts are on those questions. Leave your answers in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching all of you in the next Fun Nation.
Please subscribe to my other channels and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter too.